Hey, good afternoon, cadets. It's Lieutenant Colonel Baker here. Lesson 2 of team building, the drill leader skills and responsibilities. It's taking the team building blocks that we just discussed before and adding on to it to help you out to become a better leader. Okay. So, as always, here's the essential question. What are the characteristics and expectations of a good drill leader? The reason why they choose a good drill leader for these examples is because everybody has to learn how to march in our program. And then everybody usually ends up teaching somebody how to march. And eventually they'll get to the point where they can become a drill leader for competitions, for the drill team, for parades, things like that. Okay. So what do you think are some good characteristics? And then also the expectations. A lot of times people think that a drill leader is supposed to be very stern with that sour face look and just no emotions, okay? That's kind of what comes to my mind when I think of a good drill leader, okay? So let's think about the leadership skills you have personally observed yourself. Okay? We all know that there are plenty of people that have observed some good leadership skills, and we always want to try to emulate those good skills because, hey, what they're doing works, so why not, copying is the best form of flattery, especially in the military. Yeah, there's no plagiarism. So there are plenty of things, plenty of good leadership skills. One I can tell you is you have to be a good follower. We've talked about that already. To be a good leader, you have to be a good follower. So the role you play as a follower, especially in drill, is huge. Okay, if one person turns the wrong way or is a millisecond off on their step, everybody sees it. Okay, so you have to be a good follower, but also as a good leader, you have to call the commands on the right step in the right time so everybody's in step. If everybody's out of step, then it's usually the drill leader that's causing the issues. Okay, and we're teaching you how to become a leader, so it's a learning process that from when you were a LET 1 to a LET 4. By the time you're LET 4, you should be a awesome drill commander. Okay? Couldn't do that exercise online. So think about what you know about appearance, responsibilities, and attitudes of the leaders exhibited in the upcoming video. Okay. Let me show the video here. Dang it.
For leaders to command respect and obedience from their subordinates, they must be prepared to lead and be ready for any situation. Their attitude and appearance must set a good example for others to follow. Taking charge is not as easy as it sounds. It is not just having a neat and correct appearance, knowing drill commands, or using proper command voice. It is being a good follower, a good leader, and knowing how and when to use proven leadership techniques, such as the attributes and competencies of leadership.
Okay, so you saw pictures of leaders. I saw Rudy Giuliani, George Washington, Nelson Mandela. Okay, the mantle of leadership can weigh heavy on a person. Think about Nelson Mandela. You know his story. He was in prison for over 30 years just before the color of his skin in South Africa. Great man. You need to check out his story, but he led from the jail cell, right, which is very hard to do. Okay. So, I mean, it's interesting how things are working in our society today, especially now, what you view as a leader. Right. So, okay, remember, it's all about learning to lead. So, in order for leaders to command respect and obedience from their subordinates, they must be prepared to lead and be ready for any situation. Their attitude and appearance must set a good example for others to follow. Okay, so if that person is standing out in front of the formation and looks like a soup sandwich, his uniform is all jacked up, everything, how is he going to be perceived by his subordinates out in the company? They're going to look at him and say, I'm not following him because he doesn't even know how to set up his uniform correctly. Okay? At a minimum, that's why a leader has to be an expert in the areas that he's out in front teaching. Okay? But taking charge is not easy as it sounds. Okay? Especially as a drill commander, you have to have the correct appearance, you have to know all the drill commands, and you have to use the proper command voice and at the right time so everybody's in step. Okay? That's why it can be difficult. Okay? So here we have, do you agree or disagree with the statement made to Mark by a senior cadet? You can't inspire respect if you don't have any for yourself. Okay? It's actually a really good quote. I might have to use that. But that's agree. If you don't have respect for yourself, how are you going to command respect from your subordinates? Okay? And that's what I talk about, that appearance, never being ready, always being late, things like that go a long ways on how you're perceived by your subordinates. Okay, so here we have some key words: command of execution, command voice, preparation, and procedure. I know you guys all remember this from last year, but a command voice is a properly given command set in a tone that is understood by everyone. Everyone understands it. They can hear it. There's no issues with it at all. You got to have a proper command voice to call cadence. Okay? Here we have command of execution. It's a part of a drill command that tells when the movement is to be carried out. You have the preparatory command, and then you have the command of execution. Okay? Preparation is the act or process of making something ready for use or service, and procedure is a series of steps followed in a regular, definite order. Definitely have procedures in drill and ceremony. Okay, we already viewed that. Okay, so think about how drill leaders prepare for drill. I mean, how do you think they prepare? I can tell you right now, okay, they have to be proficient at the drill. Okay, they have to have training and experience of the cadets they will be teaching. They need to have a level of team cohesion and a level of cadet confidence. Right? Your confidence rises when you do things right over and over and over again. That's why we practice. That's why anybody practices anything. Okay? These are some of the things that leaders prepare for drill. Okay? All right, so the attributes of a good drill leader. Let me pull it up here. All right, so here are some questions that you need to answer. Say, what do you believe are the 5 most important things that a good drill instructor will do in preparation of a drill? Okay, and why do you think those are the best 5? Okay, I think it's consistency, sincerity, patience and spirit, or motivation, military bearing and neatness, being an example for the followers, and providing feedback when mistakes are noted. Then fairness and good judgment when applying discipline. Okay? Those are the things that are all important to become a good drill commander. Okay? So one of the questions that I'd like to answer is, explain how leaders can command respect and obedience from their subordinates. Okay, how do they get that respect? Sometimes it's really hard to do. Okay? And I know you've all seen the movies where it took forever for some leader to gain the respect of one subordinate, and once he did, then the whole team went along and everything was great. Okay. All right, so where should a drill leader position him or herself to teach a team a new drill movement? Everybody should know this one. That's right, centered in front of the team so the team members can see and follow the leader's example. Okay. True or false? During drill, it is preferable to wait for a private moment to correct individuals who are not performing the drill correctly. No, you need to correct them as soon as they do something wrong while you're out there on your drilling ceremony, okay? Because while it's fresh on people's minds and they can see, oh yeah, I did that wrong. Okay, well then let's here's how you do it right. Okay, now let's execute it. You can't wait. Okay, so think about leadership attributes and competencies as you read the case study. So Mark's case study is right here. Okay. I'll leave that up so you can read that. You can pause it. Okay. Okay, so here are some of the questions that need to be answered after reading Mark's case study. Okay, it's actually a pretty good study to read. Right? And then you can do a multi-flow map. It's hard for people to do online, so. Okay, so what behaviors seem to be critical for a drill leader to be successful? Well, to me, one is knowledge, right? He needs to know all the commands so he can teach everybody commands. You got to have patience, okay? Because people are going to make wrong moves, and you can't yell at them because they're learning, okay? And then what characteristics do you exhibit that would help you be a good drill leader? Well, one thing is if you got a lot of patience, that's a good one, okay? But I'm asking you, okay? And